All right, we're here at Legends Attic in Claremont, wrapping up the 2025 Dodger season here. Just a couple of regular season games to go, and then, of course, whatever happens in the postseason. We are here with a legend of LA Dodger baseball, Ramón Martínez, who spent 11 years with the LA Dodgers. Ramón, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to me to be here for a while.
Yeah.
I haven't been in a while in Los Angeles, but very well, it's an honor to be here.
Yeah.
This part of this very great. It is a great show. I mean, I believe it.
Yeah, it really is. So let's talk a little bit about your career as a Dodger. You obviously, you had a no-hitter. You had the 18 strikeout game. It was, somebody my age getting to watch you pitch night after night. Do you have a favorite memory as a Dodger? Like when the first thing that pops in your head, what goes to the top of the list?
Well, the first thing that popped in my mind was the first time when my first game when I opens up against the Giants, 1988.
Giants too, yeah.
Yeah, so that was my first the impression of being in Major League in my debut. I mean, that's some of the memory that I had. I mean, like my 18th strikeout game. There's so many memory. My greatest memory in sport in my whole career, it was here in Los Angeles.
That 18 strikeout game, did you know you had something going early? Like, hey, tonight's a special night?
Well, I think it was like I was locked in, probably early in the game. It's like you really figure out how the thing was going. And I would first three batters that I faced, I strike out two guys, 2 out of 3. And then in the second inning, I went 2 out of 3. And then after that, I got 3 strikeouts in the following inning. And then you see what's going on. I didn't know about the record or strikeout because from what I see after the game, I realized that I just tied. I hear that the crowd scream like, "Oh, it's the record!" So I kind of looked back a little bit, looked to the scoreboard, and I saw Ramón Martínez, he just tied Sandy Koufax strikeout record. So, wow. So that time, then I started pumping out because I was so lucky and just focused on the game that it was like I didn't know that I was getting so many strikeouts. I know that I was those kind of games where you really enjoy. And
did you have all your pitches working that day?
Yeah, everything was working that day, and I mean it's unbelievable. That one of my greatest games that I ever had.
So when you, obviously, team like the Dodgers, setting any team record is an incredible accomplishment. But all of a sudden, you see your name next to Sandy Koufax. I mean, that had to be surreal.
Yeah. Sandy, he's one of the greatest. I mean, he's a great man, a great human being. There's a lot of respect for all the Dodgers pitcher from the past that it was easy for you as a young player to see all that surrounder of Drydell, Koufax, Padre, Newcomb, all those guys that you see surrounded, you can talk to them. It was very special. It was very, very, very special that we had those guys. Also, coming up to the minor league, I see Jorge, I see Valenzuela, those guys. They see you can see it, you can talk to them, you can ask questions. So that was the main thing that give us as a minor league, or give me as a minor league, like that confidence to stay in the major league.
What was it like coming up with a team that, like you just said, it's Fernando Valenzuela, that's Oral Hershiser, got made guys in the major leagues, and here you come as a young player, and to be teammates with guys like that, and to be in a rotation with guys like that.
Yeah, it was, like I said, you had the whole package. At that time, you didn't have the technology or the information you have today, but back then it was what they already accomplished, all that information that those veteran guys they have. So those are the ones that that we received from them. All the information, especially breaking into the major league. I was like, okay, I don't know, I don't know this guy, but it was easy to me to ask them, how this guy, and spend time on the video room with them and see how this guy, how can we get him out and like that. So that was a good information that that we as a minor league we can get. We easy to us to get to them.
Give me your favorite Tommy Lasorda story. Everybody that had Tommy Lasorda as their manager has a Tommy story. What's yours?
Well, mine was that Tommy, he one of the greatest, great motivator, the guy who bleed and blew. That was what we see since we were when we were kids in the minor league. He was always giving us that enthusiasm, that inspiration. I mean, give us that confidence that you guys, you can make it, and that was it. I mean, he was unbelievable because one of the things that I remember was that I remember one time I was on the mound. I was kind of a little bit in a tough situation on the mound. So then Tommy comes in. There's a situation where the manager comes in, he will take you out, talk to you and say, hey, look, I want to get this guy out, kind of like that. So at some point, he came to me, and I expected like he's going to take me out. I said, he's not going to take me out. He just went up there and said, hey, Ramón, talk to something not either about the situation that I was. He just went and said, asked me like something about the academy, the Dominican, or something like that. And I was like, everything's fine there, or kind of that. But it was something that I didn't expect.
Off subject.
So he gave me that confidence. I'll say, hey, Ramón, you can do it. Come on, let's go. Yeah, so it was just great motivation.
How old were you when you signed?
When I signed, I was 16.
16.
Yeah.
So you went into the minor leagues when you were 16 years old.
Yeah.
What was that like? I mean, that's a kid.
Yeah. I pretty much, we break early. It's for a young player. At 16, you should be at school.
Yeah.
But that time, to me, it was a little different Dominican. Like you can make that decision to sign at a very young age. At that time, they decided at a very young age, and I think all what I learned it was about the tradition of Dodger organization. That was the main thing.
And in the Dominican too, the Dodgers had a big footprint.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, at that time they had the academy in San Pedro de Macorís, and then after that, a couple years later, they built up the complex in the Dominican. So it was something that you bring, it's something that you learn even from you as a kid in the Dominican. You grew up hearing about the Dodgers. You grew up hearing about player from the Dominican. At that point, there was Toronto and the Dodgers. That was the more popular organization where there was major player.
They were actively scouting you guys.
Exactly. Yeah. So at that point, I mean, it's like I like to be a Dodger. I'm a blue.
Yeah.
That's always.
Yeah.
So and those are the things that make me motivate me to grow. I see how the O'Malley family they treat the player. They treat the player as a family. Mm-hmm. So that's how we grew up with. We can see Peter O'Malley. We can see the whole family. We can see. I mean, we stay in Vero Beach at that point in Florida, where everybody was together, major league, minor league, everybody. That's why we have a very easy access to get in touch to the player, to the major leaguer. It wasn't like, okay, the major leaguer, but we have access to get information from them.
So you mentioned family, and your brother was a Dodger with you, and we won't go over your brother Pedro getting traded to the Expos for Delino DeShields, but what was it like for you? You get to play with your brother, like a dream come true. You get to play with your brother in the big leagues, and then all of a sudden, he's on a different team.
Yeah, at that point it was a little bit. It's a little bit you as a player when you grew up, especially when with your younger brother. You bring your younger brother, and you know that he's capable, what he's capable to do. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I respect the decision that the Dodgers made at that point because they're the one who made the decision. So they thought that the decision was right, so they make the trade. So one thing for Pedro was harder because he don't want to be away from me, like he want to be, with his older brother. Yeah, and he was a little disappointed. But at the time, I explained to him what how this works in baseball. You can get traded anytime, so it's not in your control. So he was a little bit upset then, but then
He seemed to get over it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that trade was for good because he got the benefit of trade or making his own name and work because today he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he was okay. He was okay. It's one of the great pitchers of all time and one of the great baseball families of all time. A couple of guys that did what you guys did. Ramon, it was a real pleasure. Thank you so
very
much.
much.
It's a pleasure
Thank you
to
very
meet
much.
you.